Alright, well, I am back once again to look at some new trailers for the 1000 Year Blood War Arcs anime, and this is probably going to be the last time we do a reaction video like this before the anime hopefully comes out. Now, I've been waiting to do this video for quite some time, and I think you guys have been waiting for it as well, so I do really appreciate your patience in that regard. But basically what's been going on is over the last 3 weeks, each week, a new trailer has been released for the anime, focusing on one of the major divisions, major factions that take part in the war. The first trailer was based on the world of the living, or essentially Ichigo and his friends. The second trailer, which was the one I was easily the most excited for, was all about the Sternritter and the Vandenreich. And the third trailer, which I think basically came out today in its subtitled version, is based on the Gotei 13. So all of these I am really excited to see. I haven't seen any of them yet. I have held off, which was pretty tough, particularly when the Sternritter video came out, because I wanted to react to them as we have with the other trailers previously. But considering these trailers are all quite short, they're about 30 seconds a piece, I wanted to lump them all together in one video. But as we have done with the rest of our reactions, our trailer reactions, etc., in this video I want to react to each one, and then as we go along also do a more in-depth discussion, look at the trailers panel by panel, side by side, to see what's changed and to see what's new. Considering these trailers are only 30 seconds or so a piece, I'm not expecting a ton of new information, but I am really excited in particular for the Sternritter one, and I have heard via osmosis, I have seen via osmosis some really potentially awesome new stuff in these trailers, so that gets me pretty excited. But without further ado, we may as well just get this thing going with the first trailer, which is the one for the world of the living. Now, I'll be honest with you, before we get started, this is probably the trailer I am least excited for, but I'm still expecting something cool. So let's have a look. Like I said, it'd be intriguing to see how much, if any, new footage there actually is. Let's do it. And immediately, as soon as the trailer begins, there's a new scene, so that shut me up. I still think it looks absolutely wonderful. It's so pretty. Like they are really managing to capture Kubo's own line art, his own actual style, much closer and much more consistently than they ever have before. I know I'm talking over all of this, but there's been a couple of new scenes. We'll watch it again. I think that's literally it. Like, it's very short. So let's just bring it back and I'll pay a little bit more attention this time. I just marvel at how nice it looks. And I thought the original anime looked nice as well, but it was far less consistent. It didn't really look like Kubo's original own work at all times, particularly in motion, apart from when obviously the budget was sky high. And this just looks beautiful, and I think the colours are so nice, and everything looks great. Let's run it again. What's absolutely crazy about this trailer is all this footage is from like the first 5 chapters or so, which I think is a really good idea. This music is really good, by the way. Really awesome getting to see I mean, I don't know what Orihime is doing there, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, this is cool. Basically just focusing on the Karakura gang. Yeah, really nice. It's a cool trailer. Like, I thought it would be the one that wasn't the most exciting, so for what it's worth, I think it's pretty good. So now let's go through the trailer. It isn't very long. Taking a look at the stuff we haven't seen yet and seeing if we can compare it to the manga or if it is brand new. So this is, like I said, all centered around those first couple of chapters where everyone meets up at Ichigo's house. They all kind of eat the bread that Orihime brings from her part-time job. And of course, they talk about Uryu's friendship with Ichigo and all that sort of thing before deciding to go to Waco Mundo. Very, very early stages of the arc. Immediately, we're hit with this picture of Chad. And it's brand new. He never does this in the manga. The start of the arc is very fast-paced, so there's not an awful lot of time for introspection like this. So I do wonder when this could possibly be happening. The fact that it looks so out of place makes me wonder, could this just be a shot from the opening movie, perhaps? I don't really know. I do kind of wonder if maybe he's out and about by the Karakura riverbank here, but it's a cool shot nonetheless, and of course Chad absolutely needs more screen time. So Uryu using Licht Regen here. You know what, I'm still not sold on how the Quincy abilities look. On the one hand, it's really pretty. Like this part at the very beginning where he actually forms the first arrow looks honestly really good. But then I can think it maybe gets a little overbearing after a while. You get all the crazy particle effects going off with almost every single attack, and there are going to be a lot of Quincy attacks. So this is kind of new. This is all new as well. Not actually brand new, but stuff we haven't seen in the trailers before, which is Orihime talking to Uryu about being friends with Ichigo, which of course is setting up the future conflict. But again, I think it's drawn really nicely here. There's a lot of character shown between these two guys. Here we've got Chad wearing a green shirt, which kind of threw me off, not gonna lie, because I'm pretty sure his shirt is not that color in the official colorings, and so it just looks a little bit weird to me. What's even stranger though is that his pendant is silver here, where I'm pretty sure it has always been depicted as gold, so that's a little bit strange. This next shot of Chad, I don't remember if we've seen this in the trailers previously, but this is actually from Waco Mundo, and I think this is from when he says to Kisuke, when Kisuke says that, does Ichigo even know that he's helping his former enemies, and Chad says that Ichigo wouldn't be bothered about something like that. That's what I think that's from. I like this shot of Orihime in Waco Mundo. I might be blanking. I don't remember what this is. If I had to guess what this shot is, because I don't feel like this is in the manga, I could be wrong, but if I had to guess what this is, I would assume this is when Chad chases after Ichigo and she follows him. That would be my assumption. Then afterwards, we get this bit, which again is not in the manga. This is brand new. And this is Orihime using some special new ability that looks like some kind of a rippling mirror. It's sending like waves of energy that force this hollow back. Her powers look nothing like they used to look in the original anime. They have got a strange, almost sort of 3D-esque quality to them. Again, very similar. Energy attacks in general in this new anime are going to take some getting used to, I think, because they really don't look like they used to. And I'm still uncertain as to whether I prefer them or not. I need to actually see it on the screen properly playing out. And then we get Chad using La Muerte, apparently, against random hollows. Now, the hollows do look kind of creepy still, which is awesome, like I mentioned in the last trailer, but it's just hilarious that he's using his basically most powerful ability against some basic hollows, which is also something we'll mention in a sec. But it's a cool angle. I like the appearance. Uryu using Hirenkyaku here is really nice to see, because basically what they are doing here is they are making it quote-unquote more manga accurate. Even though you never really see Quincy using it like this, they are supposed to be effectively skating on Reishi, which is what he's doing here. They put it under their feet as little platforms, which of course we see Mayuri do in the battle against Pernida. So it's cool. I do wonder if they will keep that up, if it's going to remain consistent, but it's a nice little detail for the time being. And then here we have Ichigo in Bankai, which again did not happen in the manga in this scene. And this seems to connect with that. In the last trailer reaction I didn't know what that shot was from. It does, as I predicted, it seems to be from here in this battle against the initial hollows. So again, I don't know why Ichigo feels the need to use Bankai here, but maybe they're just trying to get mileage out of his Fullbring Bankai. And that's basically it, yeah. Short, precise, and I like it. A nice focus on it's effectively the main cast of the series, so that's pretty cool. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This next trailer, I have been dying to watch. It has taken an awful lot of willpower to keep me away from this one. And like I said, I have already heard things about this trailer. I have seen some images. So yeah, I'm very excited for this one. It's time to look at the Sternritters actually get some spotlight on the new Quincy villains of the arc. I am so excited. And based on that last trailer that we just watched, I'm expecting some new footage. So that also makes me very excited. So, let's do it. Yuha Bark looks awesome there. Okay, Bambietta. Nanana. Okay, we're seeing BG9. Okay, we're seeing quite a lot here. This is one of those trailers where there's a lot happening. Okay, that... Oh my god, there's a lot. Oh my god! Whoa. Did he just block... Wind it back. Wind it back. There's a lot going on here. I'm pretty sure I just saw Az using blue in his eyeball. Which I didn't expect to see, but I'm happy with that. Let's do it one more time. Yuha Bark sounds great. To be honest, they all sound pretty good. What is going on in that BG9 scene? That is fascinating to me that they are showing that. And someone did mention that to me. Oh my god, Asnot sounds so good. What an amazing voice that is. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. I'm really happy with that. That looks so good. So yeah, let's go through it. I'm going to try not to spend too much time on this one because we do have another trailer to watch, but I thought that was awesome. So here we have I think a new look at Yu Haruaki himself. I want to say straight off the bat that I think he looks brilliant. I think he's a difficult character to draw, and I think they have done a great job here. It could have gone really wrong, and I think they've managed to make him look imposing and ominous, and I just hope that he brings the same screen presence that he does in the manga itself. I am curious as to what this scene is, because off the top of my head, I don't know. He does seem to be sitting down in his throne, so I wonder if this is him talking to Luda's Freegan, perhaps, right at the start of his first appearance in the arc. In fact, that has to be what it is, I reckon. Maybe this is him being like, are you a prophet? Could be all that sort of thing. Either way, he looks so good, and the ominous Quincy lighting they've got going on is a real treat. Okay, so this I think is new. We've briefly seen Bambietta versus Komamura already, but that's obviously a panel. This particular image is ripped straight out of the manga. And also, Bambietta sounds great, but again, we heard her voice before in Brave Souls. But she looks really good. They've gone for the purple hair in this shot. You can really see it clearly to match her eyes, which is what the other Bambis have as well. This shot, again, is obviously straight from the manga. We see her with her sword that she would never wield again, which is quite funny. And then immediately after that, we have Nanana. And this is, again, I think that's immediately, this shot of him is his introduction, when he talks about if someone's not died, then it's Basby's fault. Even though he's saying a different line, I don't think it's that scene. I could be wrong. So now we get to our first really interesting part, and this is brand new. This is not in the manga, as is basically everything we have seen with Soifon in these trailers so far. They are really extending the battle against BG9, and it's obviously my hope that they are really extending all of the Bankai stealing fights. In my opinion, this shot is directly after Soifon rushes BG9, which we've seen previously, but what's really strange here is that he is batting her hand away while keeping his arm under his cloak, which just seems weird to me, especially since in the very next scene, they reveal his arm. First of all, this is not in the manga. We do see BG9 with the medallion very briefly, but Kubo makes a point of not showing BG9's arms or his hands in the first invasion. I don't know if he hadn't thought of it yet. So it's weird to me that they show him wearing like a glove. It's weird to me. They've obviously taken some liberties with his arm there. Either way, it's really cool seeing this, and the lightning effect on the medallion is really nice as well. This shot of Robert Akutrone, also his voice, is deeper than I thought it was going to be. But it sounds good. I reckon this shot could be from 497, I think it is, when Kyoraku first talks to him, basically about someone needs to sacrifice themselves to lure out your abilities. I think that is what this is, but it could reasonably be from any other scene that he's in. And then Master Masculine comes crashing in. That's obviously taken straight from the manga. So then we have Driscoll Bursey. There's a lot going on here. This is when things are really flashing past. First of all, I want to say Hisagi is drawn really well there. I'm not keen on this shot. I think Driscoll looks a bit goofy. Not overly imposing. I think he looks a lot more bulky and more frightening in the manga. He's really towering over Hisagi and bearing down on him in that one panel in the manga itself, whereas here he just looks like he just looks like a bit of a weirdo. However, these next few shots of the Gotei being annihilated and there's blood everywhere, I reckon certainly the images of the bodies lying in the alleyways and stuff like that is probably actually when Driscoll is saying that he has killed 100 people since he was here this time and 100 since he was there last time, all that sort of thing. I reckon that's going to be what you're seeing. The one with them in front of the blue flame could be that explanation as well, but I almost think that might be a different scene. So they've included in here a line that is actually quite important. You might not know why, or you might do. But it's a line turning your back on an enemy in the midst of battle. Now, the person who says this, we never find out their identity in the manga. Basically, when Rukia realizes that Byakuya has fallen, she turns and tries to run to him, but whoever her opponent is doesn't take too kindly to that and says this to her. Now, we have no idea who it is who then strikes her down. Many of us theorized over the years that it was Giselle, because I think based on the raw and the translation, it was obvious that it was a woman talking to Rukia. However, we don't know what Giselle sounds like yet. And we know it's not Candice because she has a voice in Brave Souls. We know it's not Bambietta, obviously. It could be Lil Toto. and it could be Meninas. Now, in my opinion, reasonably, there's no way of knowing. But it sounds pretty dainty. It sounds kind of princess-like. I might err more towards it being Meninas than anyone else, because I think she fits the most, because if it's Lil Toto, she's going to use that moment to eat Rukia, and if it's Giselle, she would presumably zombify Rukia, so this feels most likely to be Meninas, but I really have no idea. But I like they included it. I think they even said, I think Kubo himself even said in a Club Outside Q&A that they would reveal Rukia's attacker in the manga, so presumably that fight will be extended. Then you have a lovely moment of choreography where you get a first-person viewpoint of Bazby taking out the 6th seat, I think it is, of the 3rd division, something like that. But this is the kind of dynamism that only the anime can really provide. It's not a new scene, it is in the manga, but you don't see it from this perspective, where he just grabs these guys' faces and smashes them into the ground, and you get this cool front shot of Bazby as well. But what he's saying here is what he says to Yamamoto when he jumps him. But yeah, really cool. It looks great, flows really nicely. It's cool, yeah, I think it's really awesome, really cool perspective. Then you get Kangdu. This again is brand new, much like Soifon. Basically all of Kang's fight is being extended, it seems. This is pretty much all new stuff. As we said with the last trailer, there was a scene where Kang kind of like busts through some ice and leaps towards Hitsugaya. This could be just before that, maybe because his arm is being frozen here. After this though, as his stuff is clearly the highlight of this trailer. I love that you hear his voice. His voice sounds amazing, it sounds creepy, it sounds gravelly. I wasn't really expecting that. I was expecting it to be one of either two extremes. It would be really, really deep, which is what I first thought when I first saw him speak in 501, or it would be really, really high-pitched and like a sort of giddy jester, which I think it might turn into that later on because his personality does become a bit more like that in the battle against Rukia. But I have to say, he just looks great here. And that first shot of him, again, that is from the manga, but it's a slightly different angle, and it looks more dynamic again. Then you've got the bit where he blocks Renji's Zabimaru. This, and then you have this, which is brand new and so cool, and exactly the sort of thing I want to see from these fights, and again confirming that these battles are going to be extended. But I mean, this is just so hardcore. Like, I can kind of see what's going to happen already. I imagine Byakuya is going to hit Az with Senbon Zakura right in the face, thinking he's probably like shredded him to pieces, but Az is just going to return. Blute running all up his face and through his eyes, defending against this petal that's literally touching his eyeball but is being blocked by Blute at the last second. I mean, that is so cool and so like creative and just a really awesome way to extend their fight while making Az not appear ultra creepy. I mean, those veins running across his eye to defend himself is so awesome. Now, as for Blute itself, I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about how it looks. Blute's one of those things where I never really considered how it might look in the anime, but now I actually see it, I'm like, I don't know if that's how I would have done it, but it's just supposed to be Reiatsu flowing through their veins to act as a defensive barrier, and I just don't know if that's how I would have done it. It looks more like lines of code or something here, with the weird kind of digital effect going on, but, you know, it doesn't really matter too much. It's still pretty cool at the end of the day. It's a good example, I think, of this effect being used for Quincy abilities being a little overpowering. And then you've got the shot of him looking at his wounded hand, which again is straight out of the manga itself. And then at the very end here, you've got Yuha Bark. This shot's a bit of a mashup, actually, of Yuha Bark obviously standing above the Shinigami in 493, but then also being in front of the Pillars of Flame from 494, which I think is effective. It works pretty well. What I really like about this shot at the end here is they make it look really sinister by giving him like cross-hatched shading, which really takes me back to the days of old, of the original anime, the Soul Society arc, etc., where they used to use cross-hatch shading a lot more than they did later on. It looks really effective. I think it makes Yuha Bark look terrifying. And again, it's taken straight from the end of 493. And so that's it for that trailer, which went on for a little while, but I mean, I'm really happy with it. I'm really excited. I love seeing the new stuff that they are bringing to these fights. I keep saying it, but I'm just really, really excited to see more. And now we have the third trailer for the 13 Court Guard squads, which is blinding me with its pinkness. But yeah, let's check this thing out. Yamamoto looks awesome there. Oh, that's brand new. Akon looks great. Wow. Wow, Senbon Sakura Kageyushi looks amazing there. Ooh, they're talking. Oh, very nice. Yeah, nice little tease at the end there. Let's roll it back one more time before we do our breakdown. Again, just the individual artwork looks really, really good. The characters look so faithful. That's fascinating to me. The Soifon fight is being extended massively. I'm surprised it took them this long to get that shot of Zaraki in. Yep, the 4 Bankai being used. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. I like it a lot. Again, I'm not quite as excited as I was for the Sternritter one, but I think what's on show here is so promising. I love seeing all this sort of thing. So, and actually there was quite a lot of new footage in that, potentially more, I think, than we've actually had in the other two. So let's have a brief look. Shot of Unohana is, of course, from when she finds out about the Bankai being stolen, I think that is. Kyoraku here, my assumption is that I was correct about Robert Akutrone in the last trailer, and this is actually connected to that, which is their scene where they talk to each other in 497. Kensei looks really good here. Just a great piece of art. He looks like he's drawn really, really well. Really, really well. Up next, we have Hitsugaya, who appears to have been smashed into a building or something. He's coming out of a broken up wall, which again highlights his fight will be considerably extended. Yamamoto, that moment, of course, I think is the famous moment where Yama is like, I am here, there is no greater security than that. Or I think he was facing the other way in the manga. Maybe not, actually. No, I'm not sure he was. You have Renji obviously going up against Az here. Slightly weird that Az doesn't have the Vandenreich emblem on the back of his Sternritter cloak. Feels like a slight oversight, perhaps. Mayuri looking really good here. This is, of course, when he's worried that they didn't listen to him, didn't wait for his instruction before using their Bankai. So here is the first bit that's really exciting. Soifon is battling BG9. He's actually... Now, I really didn't expect to see this. They are going way more full throttle with some of these characters than I was expecting. This is BG9 using his actual tendrils to fight Soifon, something we do not see until the second invasion. We don't even have any idea that BG9 is capable of something like this, so I kind of wonder how far they're going to go with this, and it's really making me so hopeful that we do get to see the Vollständig of characters like BG9 and Kangdu. But yeah, this is really cool. Again, super fluid, just some really nice animation going on here, and that's cool as well. So there's a really nice transition where BG9's tendril is about to strike Soifon in the face, and it turns into Kyoraku dodging Robert's gunshot. And again, of course, this is taken straight from the manga. It's from the nice bit of choreography where Robert lifts his gun, blasts Kyoraku. Kyoraku just dodges it and it takes off his hat before they keep fighting. Up next, we do again have another shot that's taken pretty much verbatim from the manga. I'm kind of surprised they spoiled Kyoraku having his eye blasted out. I mean, I think they have actually shown it off in previous trailers as well, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. I like that he's missing a part of his ear. That's a nice attention to detail there. Rose is actually getting a line. This is obviously talking to Nanana. He has a hell butterfly behind him. I wonder if that is meant to be him finding out about Izuru being defeated. I think it probably is, because I think this shot is that full body shot of him, that full page shot of him surrounded by his deceased men. So I think that's probably what that is. Akon. This could be a couple of things. I absolutely love how he looks here. The lighting is great. I know I'm a bit of a weird Akon fan when he's not really done anything, but this is just cool as far as I'm concerned. But this could either be him thinking about Ichigo appearing in Waco Mundo and therefore being very unpredictable, or it could be the awesome scene where he decides to take responsibility for whatever happens. Then, of course, you get the famous shot of Zaraki carrying the 3 Sternritter. Like I said, I'm surprised it took them so long to actually use this shot, because it is, like I said, quite iconic. And And it looks really good. It looks really awesome. Jerome, Berenice, and Lloyd. Unless they extend their fight, this is the best look at them you're ever going to get. And Jerome has the Sternritter emblem, so up next we have, Byakuya's Barn. So basically it's all the Bankai being used here, I think. Byakuya's looks majestic. It looks awesome. I love the camera angle of him sort of rising up and going back. That's just really nice. It looks great, and of course it's going to hurt all the harder when you know what's coming next for him. Slight extension to the Komamura fight, him trying to attack Bambietta. And then it ends with, the nice tease towards Yamamoto's Bankai, with even Kyoraku talking about the atmosphere, the air all drying up and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the third and final trailer. Again, another really cool one as well. I am so very excited to see what they do here. I'm still personally not sure how I feel about the whole overcast look they have going on for the first invasion in general. I get it's supposed to be bleak, but I never pictured it that way at all. I think it should be a more natural progression into the pathetic fallacy being used. But on the whole, I really can't complain that much. I think it does look really awesome. But that's it for those 3 short trailers. Somehow this video has ended up being basically half an hour long. I did have quite a bit to say. I always really like diving deep into these trailers. Let me know, guys, in the comments below what you thought of these trailers. I'd love to hear which one your favourite was and what your favourite moment was as well. Do please let me know. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't done already, especially if you are new to this channel for more Bleach content like this every single week when the anime begins airing. Alright guys, but until next time, I shall catch you later. I'll see you then.